Wait, are we all unmuted?
Yes.
Are we live?
Yes, you're all unmuted. Welcome to Friends Like Us, everyone. I'm going to go with my first guest here, Decarlo. How are you doing, Vaughn?
I'm stressed the F out. I can't. My vision is going bad. I got headaches. I'm stressed. I'm really stressed.
You are
But I'm happy
stressed.
to be here. Thank you. Because I would be here by myself talking to my dog here trying to figure life out.
It's hard to see these polls coming in and it just looks like Trump is winning, right?
Yo, F, Kentucky, Oklahoma, y'all are trash. If my state of Pennsylvania don't redeem itself from 2016 and go back to blue, I'm disowning the entire state of Pennsylvania. I harassed my family all day. They voted, but I still might have to take a trip through the great state of Pennsylvania and just start swinging on people.
All right, thank you.
I can't fight though, so that's just all words.
All right, and we're going to go to the home of Pat Brown and Ginny Saldana. Sorry.
Saldana.
Sorry. How's the lovely couple? How's the lovely couple doing?
Oh, we're great. We're great. This is Election Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, Election Taco Tuesday and margaritas.
So we had the best
Oh,
taco.
could you get that?
It's right there by the bench.
What's
We having a party.
Sorry.
Threesome.
Yeah.
Our fourth.
He's about to come in. Our
Who's the third person?
Yamanika.
None of your business. Why you all in our order? Why you in our order? You turn it down.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm jealous. I never got an offer.
You probably are jealous.
Dang. Well, it wasn't a party until the margaritas showed up.
It's Election Taco Tuesday, and we're having a great Election
Taco Tuesday.
No matter who wins,
we are swell.
All right. Well, I'm gonna leave you guys and go to Subha and check her out. Let's see how she's doing. Subha, how you doing, Subha?
I'm surprisingly okay. I'm not feeling anything. Like I'm just kind of numb and a little nervous. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to have a response because I'm hopeful. I'm like, please. But yeah, some of the early polls are worrisome, but these are also states that we knew were probably going to go to Trump anyway. It's more of Florida, but Biden is still pretty close. So,
right.
I would be. I just wish he had if he could just close out Florida, it would make everything so much more certain, But
I know it's really it's I feel like the night before an audition, or as Michelle Buteau put it, before an AIDS result. Okay, and who am I missing here? Who have I not gone to? Let's see here. Let's go to Chewy. Let's see how Chewy is doing over in Chewy land. Hi, Chewy. How you doing?
Where am I?
You have on your Friends Like Us shirt. Yes,
I thought we were gonna wear it together. But...
Oh, that's I forgot. Mine is in the background. You could kind of see it. Let me see if I could share our. Let's see how we do this. All right. Let's see.
It's
cool. I don't know how this works. This
is fine. I don't mind being the only one.
You don't mind being the only one with the shirt?
Yeah, it's dorky, but it's cute. I like it. I don't know.
How are you feeling with the election?
All day long, I've been in and out of panic attacks, but so right now I'm just pretty meh about it all. But yeah, all day long, in and out of panic mode.
No, I can't. I'm trying to catch
much it.
Yeah. All right. Well. Okay. I got nothing else for you. It's good to see you, Chewy. It really is. Look at Jenny. Jenny and them, they could just make fun of me. I got them muted because I know they're talking
They are
shit.
just drunk. They are just drunk.
No,
and let me tell you something.
that's not
Marina,
it.
maybe I should have went over there and got drunk. You know
That's not it. That's
but
not it.
maybe I
She's
should have
like,
went over there. When I tell
she's
you,
like, getting that muted.
I am
You're
so
talking shit.
I am so stressed out. I really do. You know what? Maybe they should have elections every 3 to 6 months because I've cleansed my whole body. I've done a number 2 like 5 times today. I can't stop going to the bathroom. Like I'm really, you know what? Because I believe Joe Biden is going to win this election, but I also believe that Donald Trump is going to steal it. And when Judge Amy became the, I don't even understand her full name. She don't deserve all them words out of my mouth.
Yep.
When she became a Supreme Court justice, I was like, that's how he's going to do it. If this election ends up in the hands of the Supreme Court, we're in trouble because we know how that's going to go. So my anxiety isn't that Biden isn't going to win and in an overwhelming way. There are states that aren't going to surprise me, and there may be some states that will. I'm hoping Florida and Pennsylvania are those states, but overall, no matter what happens, my anxiety is seeing how they're going to flip it and steal it.
How they're going to flip it and steal it. That
True.
sounds like a sex move. Just saying.
I need a drink. I need all of that.
All right, here. Where's Chewy? Oh God.
Oh, it's all good.
Chewy.
Is it the shirt?
Did you change your?
Look
so
at him.
weird.
Glasses is on a gangster lean. I want whatever he's drinking.
For some reason, it won't let Chewy be on it.
Is Chewy dressed as the background? Where'd she go?
I don't know. This is my first time doing this.
Maybe you have a limit of how many people can be on at one time. Is that why?
Maybe. Let's see. I don't know. This thing is.
I think the limit is 6.
I don't know where Chewy is. Chewy's up there in the black corner.
There you are.
Yeah.
But there she is.
You got it.
Where? But now I'm not there.
Yeah,
This is exactly how the election is going. It's all over the place.
I don't know.
This is
So interesting though, right? All right. So what are you? So I'm gonna throw it to What'd you say, Pat? Why you always talking shit? Always talking shit. You can hear the little bubbling. They're drunk.
No, we've been trying to figure out our light. No,
why are you so paranoid? Nobody's talking about you.
Nobody's talking. We're trying to figure out our lighting.
We worried about how she's lit.
Yeah, like my lighting. I'm very delicate. I need the filters.
Can I absolutely say everybody looks really beautiful on a day that the Civil War might happen. So they look absolutely. Yeah.
Civil War's Eve.
The Civil War been started. We've been in the Civil War. It's being officially announced now, but we've been in a Civil War since 2016 at the very least. It's just being officially announced either November 4th or January 20th, one or the other. It's going to be officially announced.
61% of the vote in Texas is looking blue.
I got a lot of hope for Texas. I think Texas is going to be one of those states that comes through.
Honestly, Vaughn, what you were talking about with him stealing the election, like if there is like a decisive vote, because where he's going to be able to weasel his way in is if like by the end of today, we're still like figuring things out, if the Electoral College is still up for grabs, like specifically with Pennsylvania and them counting after Election Day. But it's like if he locks up like big electoral numbers tonight, he's done. There's nothing he can do.
And that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what we need to happen.
I'm so mad at Florida right now. Texas, that's good.
We don't be mad at Florida.
Yeah,
we're trying to talk about Florida.
Yes.
I said, what did you say, Pat?
I said, don't be mad at Florida because if we get Texas, we're
right. But imagine if we get Texas and Florida and North Carolina. I'm saying, I just want it all. I need, my ears are turning red, y'all. I got a election day fever. I don't have COVID, but I feel like I have COVID. Like I'm.
It's Marina.
I was like, I want to be seen.
Where did you go? I thought you
Okay.
quit.
No, I'm still here. I just was like, I'm tinkering. We have a person here, Venus Boy 3 says, hi, anxiety. Thank you for joining us. Salman Ali says he can help. I don't know if you can. Evelyn, I kicked you into the little corner there.
No
Sorry, I'll bring you
worries.
back. I love you too. Omagaju. I'm assuming that's a Nigerian name. So how many of you want to hear about the Electoral College? I'm going to say probably all of you. Well, here's a little something that I have for you, just queued up, maybe ready to go. And here it is.
Is it a video? She said,
Marina's perfection.
I know, I think.
That was a lot of.
Oh, there you go.
And so,
you
where is that?
Is this like a Schoolhouse Rock video?
Okay,
I'm so excited.
I hope
it
it
was
is.
The bill. Stop. I'm just the bill.
On Cowboy.
This is just adding more stress.
can you hear it?
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so let's hide that for now. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
Well, I have something to
That's
say
what
about
I
the
think.
Electoral College. I don't know.
Watched it.
What girl?
That girl on the video.
Oh God.
She like sitting
Okay.
watching them.
A little bit.
One of the things I think people
Go ahead,
don't
Vaughn.
understand about the Electoral College is, you know how when it's time to fill out the census, a lot of people ignore it or don't fill it out. That counts towards how many
Electoral College during presidential election years.
Well, there you go.
What exactly is the Electoral
Well,
College?
we don't have to hear the
Simply
sound.
said, it is a group of people
But,
appointed by
you
each
see it.
state who formally elect the president and vice president of the
This is-
United States.
So Christina
To
Greer
understand
put
how
this
this process
together.
began and how it continues today, we can look at the Constitution of the United States. Article 2, Section 1, Clause 2 of the Constitution. It specifies how many 5 electoral votes.
Do you hear it now?
We heard fine.
Oh, you did?
Most people have heard of the Electoral College during presidential election years. But what exactly
Wait.
is the Electoral College?
You guys can hear
Simply
this video?
said,
Yeah.
it is a group of people appointed by each state who formally elect the president and vice president of the United States.
You guys
To understand how this process began and how it
Wait a
continues
minute.
today,
Where?
we can look at the Constitution of the United States. Article 2, Section 1, Clause 2 of the Constitution.
Okay, let's start it again.
Oh my God.
Wait, did you hear it from the beginning?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why did
We
you
heard
guys
from the
tell me?
beginning twice.
I was changing
Yeah.
stuff on my. I was changing stuff because I didn't
Most
think
people
you
have
could
heard
hear
of the
it.
Electoral College during presidential
You
election
guys.
If I hear the beginning of this video one more time, I'm gonna throw my computer out the window.
It is a group of people appointed by each state who formally elect the president
said
and
no,
vice
please
president of the
don't.
United
We got
States.
No one wants to hear.
To understand how this process
Why
began and
does-
how it continues today, we can look at the Constitution of the United States. Article 2, Section 1, Clause 2 of the Constitution. It specifies how many electors each state is entitled to have. Since 1964, there have been 538 electors in each presidential election. How did they decide on the number
Oh,
538?
I guess you guys are bored with
Well,
this.
the number
This is
of electors
Christina
is equal
Greer's
to the
work.
total
you
voting
guys.
membership of the United States
Oh, no,
Congress.
no, no. Let it play.
435
A lot of
representatives
people don't know
plus
how it works.
100
Just let it
senators
play.
and 3 electors
I
from the
know how
District
it
of
works,
Columbia. Essentially, the Democratic candidate and Republican candidate are each trying to add up the electors in every state so that they surpass 270 electoral votes, or just over half of 538 votes, and win the presidency. So how do states even get electoral votes? Each state receives a particular number of electors based on population size. The census is conducted every 10 years, so every time the census happens, states might gain
There you go.
or lose a few electoral votes.
Hello.
Let's say you're a voter in California, a state with 55 electoral votes. If your candidate wins in California, they get all 55 of the state's electoral votes. If your candidate loses, they get none. This is why many presidential candidates want to win states like Texas, Florida, and New York. If you currently add up the electoral votes of those 3 states, you would have 96 electoral votes. Even if a candidate won North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and West Virginia, they would only gain 31 electoral votes total from those 8 states. Here's where it can get a little tricky. On a rare occasion, like in the year 2000, someone can win the popular vote but fail to gain 270 electoral votes. This means that the winner may have won and collected their electoral votes by small margins, winning just enough states with just enough electoral votes, but the losing candidate may have captured large voter margins in the remaining states. If this is the case, the very large margins secured by the losing candidate in the other states would add up to over 50% of the ballots cast nationally. Therefore, the losing candidate may have gained more than 50% of the ballots cast by voters, but failed to gain 270 of the electoral votes. Some critics of the Electoral College argue the system gives an unfair advantage to states with large numbers of electoral votes. Think of it this way. It is possible for a candidate to not get a single person's vote, not one vote, in 39 states or the District of Columbia, yet be elected president by winning the popular vote in just 11 of these 12 states.
Absurd.
California, New York, Texas, Florida, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, New Jersey, North Carolina, Georgia, or Virginia. This is why both parties pay attention to these states. However, others argue that the Electoral College protects small states such as Rhode Island, Vermont, and New Hampshire, and even geographically large states with small populations, like Alaska, Wyoming, and the Dakotas. That's because a candidate can't completely ignore small states, because in a close election, every electoral vote counts. There are certain states that have a long history of voting for a particular party. These are known as safe states. For the past 4 election cycles, in 1996, 2000, 2004, and 2008, Democrats could count on states like Oregon, Maryland, Michigan, and Massachusetts, whereas the Republicans could count on states like Mississippi, Alabama, Kansas, and Idaho. States that are teetering between parties are called swing states. In the past 4 election cycles, Ohio and Florida have been swing states, twice providing electoral votes for a Democratic candidate and twice providing electoral votes for a Republican candidate. Think about it. Do you live in a safe state? If so, is it a Democratic or Republican safe state? Do you live in a swing state? Are your neighboring states swing or safe? Is the population in your state increasing or decreasing? And do not forget, when you're watching the electoral returns on election night every 4 years and the big map of the United States is on the screen, know that the magic number is 270 and start adding.
All right. Yay! So there it is. Oh, I gotta stop that thing from playing. Oh, sorry.
One more time.
Oh no. Oh God. Oh, please stop. Okay. All right. There we go.
I'm breaking out in hives. I need help. Somebody's calm me down.
You need some weed.
I think I should start smoking weed or something.
We have
Or
weed.
at least like CBD.
I don't do anything. I could be sitting in my own reality and brain all the damn time.
You don't have. You just said you need weed.
Who does that?
I love weed.
Yeah, definitely not the purple room. The purple room isn't in their own reality all the time. There's no way.
Purple room.
Who said they love weed? Who was that? I missed it. I heard it, but I didn't. Oh, Jenny. Hey, Jenny.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to really watch that, so because I was texting Vanessa Fraction. But how was it? How was that video? Was it clear?
I liked it.
It was very clear and informative.
Good.
Yeah, it's good.
Derogatory about Mexicans.
did say that though.
our live stream, they're gonna block us. Stop it, Pat. Stop it.
You might wanna vet your material before you put
who is
it
here.
online.
Vanessa Fraction, everyone.
Hey, Vanessa.
What it is, party people?
What up? What up? How you doing?
Man, I'm super fantastic, to be honest with you. My lighting isn't right. I'm in my fiance's office. It don't look as nice as that. There we go. That's better.
Good. You look
How are you guys? Thank you. How are you guys? I tried to put a shoulder out just for
Come through shoulders and head wrap up, Miss
head wrap and shoulders. Vaughn, you look very delicious, I must say.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I haven't seen you in so long.
But very delicious as well. I have to say, Pat and Jenny, y'all together, so I'm gonna let y'all tell each other.
I'm wearing my monster shirt.
Well, Marina, now, you're the hostess with the mostest, so you know you fly.
Oh, thank you, Vanessa Fraction.
You know.
You know what, Jenny? Jenny? What are you laughing at? What are you giggling? They're like at a slumber party.
That's why I said I didn't need to tell them nothing.
They're baked.
Hey,
Look at
Vanessa,
them.
can I say something to Vanessa?
Yes, dear.
Can I say something to Vanessa?
Like
your hair
personally
was so fucking hot. She had advertising the liar. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, I didn't think
I come on with a do-rag, man.
I was like, girl.
I appreciate that. I really am upset now that I came on looking like this.
Yeah.
I've been cleaning all day.
You look good.
Yeah.
Thank you for the image.
Thank you.
Chewy will use that.
Yeah.
So I got a question for all of you. I got a question for all of you.
Mm-hmm.
If this doesn't go in our direction, I'll start with you, Vanessa, since you have to go sooner. How will you feel and what will you do?
I think, I'll carry on. I mean, it's not like they're coming out of a bag on me. You know what I mean? I didn't think he was going to win the first time. So if he win a second time, I'll be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh my God, Elizabeth, I'm coming. It's not that serious. I mean, I made it through these past 4 years. I'm sure I'll make it through the next. If that were to happen, you know what I mean? Right. I have some, 2 doors down from me, I have a neighbor who's flying a Trump flag. I'd never seen it before, but there's actually a Trump flag, and they're flying it, Trump pins flag. So I'm sure, you know what I mean, we'll have a good block party. You know, I don't know. What will the rest of you do if it doesn't fare our way, as Marina said?
Well, the Trump flag, didn't you just move there? So
I
you don't really know that neighborhood.
2-3 weeks ago. But the thing is, to me, is like it's one thing to vote for what you feel is, best for you and your family in a sense. And it's another thing to fly a flag of a bigot and a morally corrupt person. Like, you know what I mean? So whether he wins or not, I'm always going to know you're racist. I'm always going to know you have issues. Amen. You know what I'm saying? So he going to be gone, but I'm always going to know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no reason to me to fly a whole flag across the neighborhood. As much as I believe in black rights and so forth and so on. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. It's a lot. It's a lot. And he's not a good human being. You know what I mean? So if you still want to separate your vote from the person, I could somewhat understand that, but then to fly the flag and say I'm down with the person, that just is too much. It's too much.
Venus Boy is saying yes. Yeah. They like flags.
Oh, didn't know.
Well, apparently they like flags more than they like America, because make it make sense. This maniac chief in charge didn't give 0 fucks about Putin putting out bounties on our military servicemen and women's heads. Where's your patriotism there? Their patriotism is weird as fuck. Like, that makes no sense. If you're racist, all right, I get it. If you don't care about LGBTQ, I get it. Whatever. I get all of that. But you waving that flag around like you love America so much. Where's your patriotism when it comes down to that? At the very least, make it make sense. You just a liar. Just say you.
Let's ask the slumber girls.
Hate people.
The slumber girls.
Let's ask them.
PB&J.
How are you gonna feel?
This is a live party. Ain't nobody sleeping over here.
Slumber.
Ain't nobody sleeping.
Now they get the Sharpie to their face.
I don't feel like he's going, so I feel like I can't even answer that. I honestly, in my heart, I went to bed last night and I was fully confident in the fact that I feel like the American people are going to do the right thing. I mean, they shaky as fuck, but they also had me. They also had the Russians intervening. They all had Manafort giving demographic data to the lot. It was a perfect storm for him to win last. People are really cued into who he is about, and I feel like overall through. And if by chance that I'm off, and I really feel like 99% sure that I'm not off, then I'll live in this Russian oligarch over this authoritative government the best way I can.
I agree with Pat. I feel that go ahead. I agree with Pat. What I hope is that he wins by a landslide. That Biden by a landslide, because then it really is a reflection of America showing you that we didn't want you in the first place. The people who didn't vote before, everybody's coming out. Any vote that if he loses by a lot, it's going to be a referendum on him. Policy is going to be you. We didn't want you. And if my way, I already applied for my Dominican citizenship. I'm not lying.
I did look it up.
I'm Dominican, and
I applied for my Dominican
citizenship. And I looked up how to have dual citizenship. I looked it up.
Yeah,
but I looked it up between Canada and Ghana. I was like, where am I going? I don't know. I don't know.
Ghana is a beautiful place. Ghana is a beautiful place. So if you end up there, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I applied for that.
Not that I looked into it. I just don't think that I'll actually do it. I'll be here living under the Russian rule with you, Pat.
I'm gonna ask Chewy now. Chewy, how
Chewy,
do you feel?
I have to do another show, so I have to. Let me text
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I love you.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
Oh, right. They're having a party.
That was nice.
Nice.
It's the slumber party, baby. The one I wish I was at. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Chewy.
Hey. I don't know, like hello.
Oh, sorry. That was an accident. I'm so sorry.
I could show up my shirt some more if that'll make me get more screen time.
I was trying to kick them out. Oh, they're gone. Okay.
Where's Subha left too?
No, Subha will be back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Where's Vanessa? Did she leave too?
Oh, I don't.
Oh, there she is. All right, go ahead, Chewy. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Like, I don't know. We've seen like the anger and the violence of Trump supporters with like the caravan in Texas and the caravan in California. Amy Coney Barrett was like a strategic appointment because she did steal election for Bush. So it is likely that Trump can steal this election. How I'm going to handle it is I'm really trying not to panic about, because like I live in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, which is pretty Trumpy, and my parents are also Trump supporters. So I've been, since the beginning of this election, I've been practicing how to be at peace with whatever happens because of my parents.
That's a good thing to practice. Yeah. There's been a lot of conversation specifically about that the division in homes, in households between, people who are, voting for Trump or, voting for Biden. I mean, I have that in my family as well. I've been talking about it on the podcast where there's a relative of mine that I haven't spoken to since May because of it.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that.
I didn't either.
Elaborate, sis. I want to know what happened.
Well, it's my mom. My mom's a Trumper.
Oh, really? Wow.
I almost fell out of my chair a little bit there.
So did I. When I heard, I mean, it's kind of like coming out of the closet when you yourself know a family member wants to vote for him. Oh, okay. Someone is joining us. Hold on. Saved by the joined.
Oh, you're not saved, honey. You're gonna have to get into this.
John Lester. Okay, so John Lester, welcome. Hey. We're on the subject of family members who may be voting for Trump right now, and how that is a big conversation that's going on in America, where the families are divided. It's a civil war. That we're saying, talking about. John, how are you, John? John,
can he hear you?
I don't think he can hear you.
John. Oh, this is going to be a moment. Oh my,
John. Oh, John
starts jerking off like that one video. He's on. Let me get my phone. I'm gonna record it.
Oh, what is he eating?
John.
You don't know he's on. Please let him start jerking off.
John, we can see you.
Hi.
I love it. Turn your TV down, John. Can you hear us?
Please turn your radio down. Turn your radio down.
John, we can see you eating. You're obviously not stressed. Can you hear us? Or don't you see us? No.
I don't know that he hears or sees us.
I'm gonna go back to Chewy.
If he ends up,
it's just the way he's looking at us. It's he's looking through us.
Yeah. Oh my God,
that would be
funny. Hilarious.
Oh my God,
that would be so great. I'm here.
So Chewy, I'm gonna say bye to you because we have to add another guest. This platform only allows 6, unfortunately. But I'll text you to come back later if you don't mind. Is that okay? I really love the fact that you mentioned that about your parents. You live with them, so you can't stop talking to them, right?
Yeah.
Damn, Chewy.
Because what Trump did was he used a lot of immigrants' trauma from escaping communism and escaping fascism, so escaping socialism, and he uses that, and that's how he brainwashes immigrants like my parents.
Okay.
Oh, look, I have to go.
All right.
She has something better to say than I do. Chewy has a better. I'll come back on. Text
Will
me.
you really, Vanessa?
I will. I'm gonna go get drunk with a few guests, and I will come right back. We're all in safety together on this election night. It's only 4 people, so don't get freaked out.
Thank you, Vanessa. At some point, John will stop eating.
He will, and I'll text you to see if I can come back on. When I can come back on.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too, guys.
Bye.
See you, Vanessa.
All right. So now, let's see. So she's gone. Kicked out. That's how they do. Where is John? Let's see.
He's there.
I'm telling you, John don't know he is on this
I don't
thing.
know what he's doing.
And I can't wait until he turn on Pornhub and start going in, and we all watch it. Y'all saw that viral. You know what video I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a viral video of a Zoom thing that went wrong because one of the guys in it didn't know that he was on, and he just got his lotion, pulled his pants down, and started going at it. And they were like, he doesn't know he's on. And they were like, oh my God. And everybody's reaction was so funny. So that's what I'm referencing when I'm saying if John doesn't know that we can see him.
He laughed. He just texted me LOL. So I don't understand. Is this a prank? So Chewy,
sorry.
Let us know because when you'll be back, just hit me a text, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Chewy, for that. I'll pray for your parents.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, sweetie.
That must be, bye, Chewy. That must be really awkward for you, Marina.
For which part?
Your mom, that whole thing.
Oh yeah, it's well, it's one of those things where
what's her perspective? I get what Chewy said, and I hear about that on the news a lot with the immigrant situation and how Trump kind of gaslight them into believing what she said. But what's like your mom's perspective?
John just texted me, am I on later? No, you're on now. My mom's perspective is that it's so funny because he's like, am I on later? I'm like, no, you're on. We see you.
John done had whatever Pat and
No, we see you, man. No, my mom's perspective, I think she's of this generation, of an older generation that is watching Fox News and using Fox News as talking points. She trolls people. And it's fine, It's no, it's not fine. Why did I say it's fine? I said it's fine because it's my mom. So I got to say it's fine.
Your mom, and I mean, everybody has a right to do whatever they want to do.
Everyone has a right. But
we're still in a democracy for now. So, live up our freedoms while we can. But I understand that's your mom. Look, I wouldn't suggest that anybody disowns their parents or but I could also understand if they're like, Mom, how do you support this inhumane demon? Like, I can't even believe that. Like, so I understand both sides, and I'm glad I don't have to deal with that with my mom, especially with, she's, sick and everything. I remember one time she posted something on Facebook and I had to call her like, what is this about? But it was a video of people that they had started playing the national anthem and people just stopped and like was, covering their chest to the flag. And it was like, it was a really patriotic, beautiful moment just watching the video. But when you read the comments of what the people were saying about Black Lives Matter, blah, 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 then the context of why they posted that video came off different. So I called my mom like, yo, what's this? And she just was being, patriotic. Like, I thought that was a beautiful moment. I'm like, but Mom, did you read the comments? Did you see everything else that was like what people were saying? Because then it makes it look like that you're in line with these comments, and she didn't. So sometimes the older generation, they're not as social media savvy, and they might just see one thing and not, hey Zainab,
hey Vaughn,
know
hey,
the
Subha.
full context of how it looks. So I had a little moment with that, but then thank God it wasn't, like your situation, because I can imagine that's really tough.
It is. Well, Zainab is just joining us. Thank you for sharing that, Vaughn. Thank you. I kicked John Laster out because I don't want to see what's going to happen.
I was ready.
Hi, Zainab. How are you doing on this election evening?
I'm pretty good. I have no complaints. I've been in the house all day. I think I've been like under a rock, like hibernating purposely or intentionally, rather.
Yes. I went out to walk with Yamanika for a second.
Okay, I went out early this morning and I went for a run, but I got out really early to, avoid everything. And I saw a lot of senior citizens like in blocks going to vote. And I thought that was good. I hope that they're voting for who I voted for.
I know. Well, we were talking about like if someone in your family voted for Trump, how would you deal with that?
I don't know if you saw a video that I posted like a couple of weeks ago, but I asked my mom who she was voting for and she cursed me out. I don't know. My mom is in a swing state. My mom lives in Michigan. And I don't know. I just was curious. And she was offended that I did not know without a shadow of a doubt. But then she did tell me that one of my brothers might be voting for Trump. And I thought that was very funny because it's like my brother who's a convict. So I thought that was interesting. But then I was listening to I forget her name right now, which I'm sorry about, but I was listening to someone who has worked in politics, rather changing politics for the past 20 years. And she was saying that, Black men, especially a certain demographic of Black men, have been ignored for a very long time by both parties, And so, what happens when people feel ignored is they tend to rebel. And so that just gave me a little bit of, it's not okay with me. I'm not able to sit across from somebody and hear that they can vote for someone who is, in my opinion, detrimental to most of us. But it just made me consider something that I just hadn't considered or even knew about.
Well, I would say, yeah, that sums it up. I mean,
sorry to cut you off, Marina. My younger sister also posted like a week ago. She posted this cartoon. It was so great. It was like, we can be friends and disagree. It was like a white girl and a Black girl, and not that Black people don't vote for Republicans and white people. You get what I'm saying? A Black woman and a white woman in the cartoon, and the white woman was like, "Yeah, we can be friends and disagree," and then the Black girl was like, "Yeah, about everything except racism. Get out my face!" Like,
I saw that.
Disagree, Yeah, but it's like there's certain things that are non-negotiable.
It's a hard one when it's coming from your mom, though. I mean, like that for me was like I don't know. I don't know if she did this time, but I know she was a Trumper. I haven't spoken to her since May.
Okay.
It's because we got in a huge fight. Because I'm Black. I mean, I hate that Joe Biden said you're not Black if you don't vote for me. But in a sense, if you vote for Trump, I do feel like, in a sense, yeah.
Well, Marina, I think it's really, really interesting that you say that, because I think you can actually take. I think that we do need to stop saying that because I'm Black. I'm not against Trump because I'm Black. I'm against Trump because his policies are directly conflict with what I believe in. That's just, it's just as simple as that. I am paying attention to all the justices that you're putting in place, and how they feel their view of the world is in direct opposition of mine. And that has nothing to do with me being Black. I want women to control their reproduction rights. I want there to be some level of equality here. I want, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that we have to remove, and I know this is not happening now, so we have to make, we're choosing, I don't personally know anyone that's choosing Joe Biden because they love him. I personally know everyone that is choosing Joe Biden because they have to get Trump out. Those are the people I know.
Right.
And I think that what we need to focus on, and it's not color or race, it is how do we remove this two-party system, and because like you could talk to all the educated people about like how Republicans used to be Democrats and blah, blah, blah. Subha, come on, Subha, come in, give us a lesson, because I know you know. I know you can eloquently give it to us. So it's not that. For me, it's about who of the people that we get to choose from right now, who is the most flexible in terms of me and the people that I care about, which is a large majority of the world,
And to your point, Zainab, can I hop in there really quick? Because to your point, I think it's very important that 2020, the year of vision, has exposed a lot of people and hopefully gave that clarity that you can't just vote, oh, I'm just going to vote for a woman because it's a woman. Look at Amy Coney Barrett and what she stands for. I can't vote just because you're Black. Look at the Candace Owens of the world. So if you're just blindly voting based on I'm Black or I'm a woman or just under that umbrella in general, you may be voting for somebody that is clearly voting against the best interest of you as a Black person and a woman. So I 100% agree. And the two-party system is something that will take a while to get rid of, but I think that we're definitely moving in that direction.
Yeah. I also think, just to piggyback off of what you said, Vaughn, I think that's the reason why I'm trying to take like race out of it a bit. I can't even vote for someone to service my personal economic goals. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it scared the shit out of me. For the first time, it's okay. So for the first time, I was able to be scared over something that, when they mentioned a lot of money, they said if Biden said if you make over $400,000, you're gonna have a higher tax rate. And for the first time, I said, oh shit, oh wait, that includes me. Oh wait, I had to like pause and thank God. But then like, oh wait a second. But then I had to think about it, right? And this is what will always separate me from maybe 50 Cent as a troll, but the Lil Waynes of the world and the blah, say blah, right? It's just that I can't really select somebody who is supposed to represent such a large body and think so selfishly. Like, yeah, I do want to take care of myself. Yeah, I do want success. Yeah, I do not want to pay taxes. Yeah, I do think that our tax system I think that we're being raped by our government, no matter who's in there. That's the reason why them Democrats ain't want Bernie in there. Because, I mean, both, you know what I'm saying? The rich going to stay rich. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what this country
Oh shit, Keith is here. I'm leaving. Keith,
that's what we should all do. We should all quit.
Let's just all leave.
Please,
and let's
first thing I heard was Zainab yapping.
Take the hat off or nobody will hear you. Take that damn
We don't want to see that dumb hat.
I heard
you ain't a fight.
Zainab was yapping about nothing.
Hat off.
And you know what I think? She thinks she's an MSNBC pundit. Shut up, Zainab.
And you think you're a temptation. Take that damn hat off.
Keith's hat stinks.
What are you, a boys to men? Take the hat off. Keith's hat stinks.
Keith's hats. Oh, he's drunk. Is that the wine?
Oh shit! The swirl.
You about to start singing In the Heat of a Night. Come on, take that damn hat off. I know you got a haircut.
Keith, we were specifically talking about how, I mean, Zainab brought up a good point about no one really wanted to vote for Biden.
Well, not because
she's wrong.
No. Well, okay.
I didn't finish her. I'm gonna let her finish her point. Go ahead, Zainab.
I just said that I don't know anyone that was voting for Biden simply because they loved Biden, but rather they felt like they had to vote against Trump. They were voting more so against Trump than because they just love Biden and who he stands for. I do think that him adding Kamala to the ticket energized a few people at the beginning, but I don't think that it moved in a way that, for example, an Obama campaign moved in 2008, But I think everybody feels like, I think the people that I know that voted for Biden, they feel like it is their duty to get Trump out, and that is the way to do it. Do you still disagree with that, Keith?
Well, since you gave it a little bit more nuance, maybe.
Yeah, that's why you got to give the whole statement. You can't.
Sorry, that's my fault. That was my fault.
But he came in trying to disagree. So
that's true. That is true.
Yeah. So
we were also
got a problem with him.
We were also talking about people in your family who possibly voted for Trump and how you deal with that.
I wouldn't. I don't.
Would you disown them, or would you go, well,
absolutely. Hey? And no, none of that.
What?
We don't have. I don't have no sellouts in my family.
Don't insult me.
I'm not. I didn't say who did have them. I know Zainab got sellouts in her family. I know it. Facts. Facts. Look at her. She ain't saying nothing. She's smiling because I know it. I know what I know.
Keith, you look like you've put on some weight.
Just cut right to the point.
Fat shaming me is not the way to go. You cannot
I think
Keith is fat.
Keith is fat. Keith is fat. Keith is fat. Let me try to share the screen again. I don't think that works out when I share screens, but I just want to see what's happening.
Yeah, where are we? I haven't been paying attention to the results.
Yeah,
Did anybody vote?
Hear it, but
I don't
Did
think anyone
anybody
wants
vote
to.
today?
no, I voted early. I voted like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I voted.
I
on Saturday.
voted today
You did?
In the
Yeah.
great state of Pennsylvania.
in PA.
Yes.
I'm the only vote that really counted.
What?
What? Oh,
I'm
he
the
is.
vote that really counted. You New York voters, you LA voters, it doesn't matter. He's going to win California, and he's going to win New York.
Yeah, but if people have that mentality and stop going out to vote, eventually, New York and LA, it won't turn blue because everybody will be like, oh, I don't have to go. It's just automatically going to go that way. So it does matter. It absolutely matters.
Your vote
Keith
doesn't
is a
matter.
liar. He lives in Jersey.
I was in PA with my son. You seen the video?
Yeah, but you voted.
I know you see me on the video.
Oh my God.
Okay, so here we are.
Oh, Jesus, Marina.
What?
What are you, Wolf Blitzer?
I am. It's a commercial break. What, you don't want to see that?
No.
I'm trying to be creative.
That is talking through this shit. Nobody wants to sit and watch every painful moment of this shit. I know I don't.
So how are you? Okay, so Keith, besides the fact that you're obviously had a lot of swirl, how are you feeling right now?
I feel it's nerve-wracking. I can't do 4 more years of that jackass. I can't do it.
Yo, the funniest thing was his last speech when he found out that Lady Gaga, Beyonce, Jay-Z, when they went Democrat. Did you hear that, Subha? He was like, and Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga. He called Beyonce. There was a rapper that came on, Little Pump. He said, and give it up for Little Pimp, the best rapper in the world.
Oh, Lord.
He is a buffoon. It was just so funny. It was so funny.
I can't do it.
Do you understand oh, go ahead, Subha. Did you say something?
No, that wasn't me. I was just saying, what if you have to? What if he actually steals the election?
Or just wins?
Yeah, so that was my question to everyone. How are you going to deal with that if Biden loses and Trump wins? What have you thought about that, Keith? Or
yeah, I thought about it. That's why I'm going to become a raging drunk and do a lot of drugs.
It's a regular Tuesday over here.
For 4 years. A lot
you
of
ain't
drugs.
Make it for 4 years.
Oh, that's just sad that you said that.
Keith, with drugs, and COVID, you ain't making it for 4 years. Get another plan. I'm just being honest with you because I love you. Get another plan.
No, you don't tell me what I'm doing. Now, since you said that, I'm doing the drugs. I'm doing everything. I'm going out with no mask on. We'll see who lasts then.
Okay, well, everybody, let's start the GoFundMe for Keith's funeral because you know we're going to need to pull together some funds. That's everybody cash app for Keith's funeral.
Subha,
I don't need no cash app.
Yes, you do.
Subha, I think, did you ever answer Zainab's question or about, because Zainab was like, didn't you say Subha jump in there?
Oh, it's just because I know Subha be having a lot of information.
And you haven't shared any. Share it. Get to talking, girl. Come on. Uh-oh, we can't hear you. Really?
Nobody can hear Subha. Subha has no information.
Subha
Can you hear that, Super? You have no information.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh, that explains. I was like trying to say stuff, but then nobody was saying.
I was like, I don't know why Suba's so quiet.
That's so funny. Okay, that makes sense.
I was like, she's so quiet. I don't get it.
I don't remember what we were talking about, but I know what you were talking about with the voting in California versus New York. That shit is so important, not for the presidential election, but for local elections. Like, everybody wants to talk about, oh, we voted in Obama, he didn't do police reform. I'm like, that's your city council, that's your attorney general. Like, you have to go out and vote, and you have to pay attention to local measures. And it's like, it's a lot of work, like filling out those ballots. Because I used to just be a presidential voter, you know, and I never paid attention. And now I do. And I'm like, this is homework, you know, and like, you have to do it. You have to do it. It's so important.
Yeah. I was talking to someone in New York the other day, and they voted early, and they said that they didn't have nearly the things on their ballot that we have in California. In California, we had about 12 measures, which I had to take notes. I had to actually research the measures, decide which way I wanted to vote, and then I had to write it down and take it with me. You know, when I voted, we had a bunch of local seats that, and like some really important things that you're not really hearing about in the news. Like, I remember in 2008, a big thing in California, and it might have been on a bunch of states. That's why it was like getting national news, was gay marriage, right? It was like Prop 8 or something like that. But I feel like there were a lot of things here having to do with criminal justice and criminal and reform and housing. That was really that like nobody is talking about.
Also, like Uber and Lyft were trying to get out of like providing proper benefits for their employees. There was like a huge disinformation campaign. So it was crazy.
I gotta be honest. I don't give a damn about Uber and Lyft. Not paying that employee. I really don't care about that. Uber Lyft is the last on the list.
Stop being selfish, Keith.
Uber Lyft? I don't give a damn about that. Come on. Oh, Uber.
You know what, Keith?
Paying their employees. I don't care.
But Keith, what that does is it actually stimulates our economy, because right now Uber and Lyft is a job market, right? And so the same way you could ask about any other industry, are their workers making a living wage? Are they getting help? Do they have certain rights? It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Those Uber Lyft.
Can we all welcome Judah Friedlander to the show, everyone?
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Judah.
It's great to see you, Vaughn, Zainab, Marina, Subha, and Teenage Keith. It's great to see you, Teenage Keith. Looking good, Keith. Looking good, man. Shaved. Looking good, man.
Take that, Zainab. No, I really want to deal with this Lyft. Like, I really don't give a damn about that right now. Maybe like 2 years from now.
No, but it takes Keith. If you already going to the supermarket to pick up bread, what does it matter if you got to pick up peanut butter too?
Yeah, how do you not care about the people driving you to the hat store?
Yeah,
how do you not care?
Keith is the 1%. Keith is the 1%.
Since you're just now joining us, Judah. Oh, go ahead. I was curious. I want to ask Judas. Oh, go ahead, Keith. Go ahead.
No. That little thing that Subha just did, it annoyed me, but it was good. It really was.
I do want to ask Judah, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Are you got anxiety? Or have you tuned out? Is this the only thing you've done today, or did you vote?
Well, you know, the country's been in terrible shape since before it was started, so it's it's continuing to be rough, So when you watch it, so intently on a night like this, where you just, you can just see the corruption, county by county. Yeah, it can be terrifying, sure, but
yeah.
We all are in a different mental state right now. I think everybody's got their whole thing going on because this president is going to have us all in therapy. We're going to have National Therapy Day for everybody.
Well, the other thing that's terrifying is that, I mean, the country's in a terrible spot right now, and to get out of it, you can only get in a less terrible spot. You know, that's like the move we have right now. It's not like it's a choice between horrendous and amazing. It's between horrendous and still pretty bad, but definitely in a better direction. I mean, that's, to me, it's, you know, so it's, you know.
I really don't. I don't think that. I think it's a marked improvement.
Yes, but it's still not nearly good enough, is what I'm saying. It's, you
we
know,
got a
it's
long
still,
way to go. It's not going to change overnight. Like, it's not going to be like, oh, Biden won and we just blinked our eyes like a genie and it's better. It's still a lot of work to do and a lot to be done, but it's definitely going in the right direction.
I think it's going to be to our advantage that Biden is old and he wants to get in heaven. You know, so he's going to do all the right things. He's going to come through. You know, and you know, Kamala, she wants to be president one day, so that's a better play. Go Biden and Kamala and watch things work, because Kamala wants to be president, so she knows she can't mess up. So I think it's a good mixture.
Bye, y'all.
Okay. Thank you, Vaughn. She'll be back. This platform only allows like 6 people. So Jackie Fabulous has been in the waiting room. What did you say, Keith?
This platform stinks.
Like your hat.
I was in a waiting room for 40 minutes.
Marina, do you want me to step out?
Yes.
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay.
No.
I really wanted to go, though, because Keith's here.
I knew you were going to stay short, but I knew because Keith was here, it inspired you to stay in a little bit longer, which I like.
Keith, where's your medical alert? I'm afraid for you.
I'm good. I got my glass of wine.
I know.
I'm doing good.
Judah, Judah, can I ask you, would you happen to have anyone in your family voting for Trump? And if you did, like, how would you deal with it?
no, there's not. If I did, I'd be the same as usual, just getting into, you know, intense discussions and yelling matches, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I told you my mom, I don't know, I hope she didn't vote, but she seemed to have the talking points from Fox News.
Your mom's in North Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Swing state.
So that's the one we're waiting for, right? We won't really know anything. Before I finish that, though, I do want to welcome Jackie Fabulous to the room.
What's
Hey.
Jackie Fabulous, welcome to the Oprah Winfrey recommended podcast.
That's what you are. Tell me what it is.
I beat you to it. How you doing, Jackie?
I'm blessed. How are you?
Good.
How are you guys handling the victory? Joe Biden won. Did y'all hear? Did y'all see it? Nothing? All right.
Someone asked.
Nobody's in a playing mood, Jackie.
Venus Boy 3 wants to know, is Oprah coming?
Why
Venus
y'all
Boy
so
3
serious?
wants to know that.
It ain't like Trump's winning. Why are we so serious?
Well, because this is almost the end of the world, and you want to come play games. We ain't and we ain't for the games.
Ain't no game. We won, Keith. I need for everyone to half a smile, something.
I'm still nervous.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Usually, this time 4 years ago, by now, the colors on the map would have been more red than blue. Like, I remember last 4 years ago, I went to the bathroom, left for a little while, came back, and Hillary tanked. She was up. I went and did normal things in the house, came back, and I don't know what the fuck happened to Hillary. but it happened before. Now it's kind of past the threshold of a point of no return. It's not gonna. He won.
We'll see. I mean, I think Texas is going to be a big indicator, and it keeps flipping between red and blue. So I'm watching, and they're making me very nervous.
In Ohio, if he wins Ohio,
Wins Ohio.
you have to win.
Ohio, Georgia is the ones he needs to win, and North Carolina. And North Carolina.
He won.
Ohio and Georgia are too early to count. Like they're only like 50-60%.
Yeah.
I feel it in my heart. And he's very much ahead electoral vote wise.
If he wins, I'm gonna take a nice flip. I'm gonna flip with my stroke and all. I'm taking a nice flip.
What do you mean, a backflip?
But wait,
backflip. I'm doing a back end flip.
Please, nobody's coming to your funeral because we'll be like, why was he even doing that? We're gonna be mad.
We've already mentioned Keith's funeral twice.
Because y'all actually think I'm that fragile.
Oh no! What we know is you can't do no black backflip. We know that.
Exactly.
If I swear to God, if this is on everything, if Biden wins, I'm doing a backflip.
Nobody's coming to the hospital to see you. No one's going to the wake. And no one's going to the funeral. We're done, Keith. You reach your quota of fucking finish problems.
Aren't there some states though that can't even count the mail-in ballots until after today? So aren't we? I mean, aren't we still waiting for those things? Those things count. Like more like so over 100. They said over 100 million people voted by mail, right?
They said that they voted so early that a lot of them have been counted or they
but there's particular swing states that they cannot count.
Yeah, I think it's Michigan. I think Michigan and
Wisconsin might be one of them too.
Yeah, they're not going to know until tomorrow. But I think Florida and North Carolina, they're going to know tonight. And if Biden wins, if he wins any four of those states, his chances are much better. If he wins North Carolina and Florida, he's probably going to win it. I don't think he's going to win Florida.
Yeah, Florida's not looking good.
Florida, but
it's not looking good for him in Florida. I thought or it must have been an hour ago when I looked.
Florida keeps flipping, and Ohio is acting up too. So
I think Florida's impossible to win with the Republican corruption there. You got the Republican 2 senators and the governor. And they stole the election in 2000 for Bush against Gore. That's the thing. It's like there's everyone voting, and then there's the Electoral College, which is another form of voter suppression and racist structure that keeps shit fucked up and unjust. And then you add in, like, to win a state, a Republican-controlled state, you have to win by a lot. You can't be close because they'll cheat it, So it's really hard. So I think Florida's almost impossible to win,
Florida is several hundred behind in not in Biden's favor. So Florida's looking bad.
But
Obama won Florida.
Yeah, but
he did, which is unbelievable. I mean, it's like when you think about it, it's like it's incredible what he did with those victories.
But you're right. If I see it, if it's close, Trump is going to be a pain in the ass. He's going to fire everyone. Supreme Court it's going to be a pain in the ass if he loses.
My real worry is what it comes down to Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania is going to take forever to get their vote count done, and that's the one he's targeting specifically for stealing the election. So I'm just hoping these other states come to where there's like a path to an. Say again?
Oh, does Zainab? Can you hear?
Is it staticky or is that just me?
Oh, that's probably because I tried to. Okay, never mind. I was trying to be creative. I keep trying to be creative, and it doesn't work.
Somebody else talk. I don't know whether it's me.
I tried to share the screen, and I guess it creates problems.
Is that you, Marina?
Yeah, that's me. You hear me, Subha, right?
What I hear?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, maybe. I think that's your Wi-Fi, Jackie.
You think it's what?
Your Wi-Fi.
Me? Okay. I'm like, I barely hear you.
Zainab is muted for some reason.
No.
Good.
Maybe unmute her. Unmuted her.
The sound is
You're
Don't unmute Zainab.
I unmuted. I had to unmute Zainab.
Why?
Zainab,
I don't think she can hear us.
I can hear you, but I hear
Oh, you can hear.
I will never share my screen again on this platform.
Let me exit out and then I'll try and come back in.
Why? You can't hear us?
Oh my God, Zainab, your joke on Instagram was so goddamn funny.
She can't hear you, unfortunately.
You can't? Oh man.
I won't. I won't
Say
share
that.
my screen. This is a platform that I'm trying for the first time. I was
Why
told
would
it's.
you do that? Why would you do that?
Why would I try something for the first time?
Yeah.
Well, I have a guy who told me it's a really great platform.
You gotta pop a cherry with strangers all the time. So.
All the time.
That's you, Jackie.
So
everybody who entered for the first time is brand new, Keith.
My question to all of you is also why, this is the thing that seems to boggle me, is why Trump supporters don't understand that he cares not one thing about them. Following at least 4. Oh, Zainab is joining.
I gotta log off and log back on because all I hear is static.
That's what I had to do. All I heard was like a monster.
Really?
Yeah, so I just exited out.
Who knows? I mean, in the world of
this platform stinks.
this platform is actually doable.
I think it was right-wing censorship. They were censoring it.
Probably. But I was about to read this thing about following at least 4 of President Trump's rallies in the last 2 weeks, transportation issues left hundreds of supporters stranded for hours in the dark and freezing temperatures. For months, the Trump campaign has bused supporters from parking lots to rally sites as a way to accommodate the large crowds. The practice has created a scenario where thousands of people are left to wait for hours after the event. And so, what is that? I mean, I'm trying to understand what they don't like. Do you remember the boats sinking?
It's like so many things going on there. Like one is confirmation bias. Like it's like an information bubble and it's confirmation bias where people are only accepting the facts that agree with their worldview, right? And then they've created this permission structure for any other information like, oh, it's fake news. Oh, he just speaks that way. It's just locker room talk. Like they have a permission structure built in to where if something doesn't agree with what they already think, they are able to put it out of their head, which is why you were talking about like with Trump supporters in your family. Like it's hard to not cut them out, but it's so important because the only way to get through that shield is somebody that you trust. Like that's the only way to introduce information to people who are in that mindset. So it is really difficult, but it is so important. But yeah, it's like a confirmation bias and it is an information bubble. Like there is a major right-wing disinformation infrastructure out there. Like they literally polled moderates and they polled conservatives or people who watched Fox News and then people who had like a variety of different sources. And the people who watched Fox News, like they didn't even really know about Trump having a secret bank account in China. Like that wasn't information that was given to them because they're only getting their information from one source. And then it's not just Fox News. It's also something called Sinclair Media, which is buying up all these local stations and pumping out conservative propaganda. So a lot of these people, I mean, it's hard to look at somebody who's voting for something that's actively like leading to people, without exaggeration, like having their uterus ripped out at the border or like being murdered in the street without consequence. It's hard to look at someone with sympathy, but they are the victims of a propaganda machine. So it's just like, it's difficult, but it's like a lot of different factors coming in for this.
Go ahead, Judah.
I agree with all that. I just want to also add that I think people are underestimating hate and the power of hate, and how many people where there's racism and sexism, and how many people their pleasure in life, the way they get pleasure in life is by hurting other people. So even if someone's not going to be doing anything for them, if they know that president is going to be doing things to harm people who they hate, that they're going to like that, And this election, like the last election, there's racism and sexism combined, so it's very dangerous, and I think that's where so much of it comes from. We're yeah.
What I want to know is, out of all the white presidents that there's been, and there's been 43 other white presidents, why Trump is the guy that they will jump on a sword for? They just go nuts over him. And you got another white president coming in Biden, but why Trump? Why is it Trump that they're just nuts over Trump?
Well, I think there's a few things. I think more than any recent president, he has explicitly played, has campaigned and governed on just flat out bigotry.
Yes.
So they see it. There's not a lot of codes anymore. It's all out in the open. And the other thing is because of Obama. If you look at the racists in the country, their worst nightmare happened. A black person became president, and they started organizing, and they started getting angry, and they started building their own infrastructure. And
Tea Party, right? Is that when that Tea Party was the beginning
Tea Party
of it?
And the whole, for the greater part of the right wing, and our country, I think, is, while there's more young people and people who've gotten progressive, the country's also shifted to the right more. Democrats today, like Biden, are more similar to Republicans from the 1950s, like Eisenhower, than they are to the Republicans today. So the country's shifted, but and then so when Obama got elected, I think that's when so many of the bigots really started organizing. And now, okay, yeah, you have Obama, you have Biden, but Biden used to work under and in support of Obama, right? So and then you have Kamala Harris. So you still have a woman on the card, and you have a woman who's black and who's Indian, Caribbean and Indian. So it's again, it's you're going up against a lot, and people know. Biden has said he wants to be a one-term president, and then hand things over. So they're both on the ticket, So I think I think you have to take those factors into there too. Is that the racist, sexist white America, the people, they know. It's almost like their last stand, And
that's what I was about to say. Almost like a white man's last stand.
Yeah, this country has always had minority rule. It's always. That's the Constitution, written by rich, white, slave-owning and land-owning men. That's who wrote the Constitution. That's who they wrote the rules for. And then there was always gaslighting, because they always said, "Oh, this is the greatest Constitution ever and freedom for everyone," except they didn't mean everyone. They meant just them. So, and now it's likely to become, if these guys win again, it's likely to become an even more increased minority rule.
So Nina Dew just wrote us on. She says, as long as they can continue to feel superior to people, they will follow him regardless of how many times he leaves them in the cold.
And also, social media, we're in a relationship with technology that's never existed before, and social media has done a lot to radicalize people and to push people to both extremes. So in terms of like YouTube algorithms where they'll show somebody something and then they'll slowly show them something more and more conservative and more right wing, because that captures people's attention, is anger that makes you keep watching. And so because of that, because of Facebook, because of misinformation, like it's not only it's like, does America have a base of hatred, unfortunately, since its foundation, but it's growing.
That's a great point. It's like you're saying that there's actually more tools to spread hate. It's like whoever's better at marketing. Is it going to be decent people or terrible people? Who's going to be better at marketing? Who's going to get more funded with that? Yeah.
I think it's retaliation also. I think the country is just completely racist and they hate women also. And yeah. I think they're like, look, we gave you Obama. We're going to take this shit back now. That's what I think the mentality is around all of America.
Agreed.
I don't know. Maybe I'm like naive. I'm naive, but it's like growing up in rural Illinois, it's like I saw a lot of hate. And then like, I also like, because I was involved in 4-H and county fairs, like I went to Omaha, Nebraska, like I saw these people who are probably right-wing Trump supporters now. And it's like, I mean, just look at Germany. Like, as a country, it was like heavily anti-Semitic, and generations later, it's way more progressive. I just feel like if you give people the right information, if you put them in the right environment, I think people have the capacity to do good. I think right now, with the divisiveness, with social media, with everything that's happened, with systemic racism being in our country and in our media, like it's creating these group of people who are capable of such awful things, but I just don't believe they're beyond saving, if that makes sense.
I don't think that it created. I think it was already there. You know, what's inside is going to come outside eventually anyway. So yeah. I think the hate was already there. I don't think nobody created anything. It was just there, and Trump tapped into what was already there.
Yeah, I agree. It was already there. He was just the mascot they needed to get the marketing they needed so that we can all be like, oh, they were always there? Yeah, we just, low-key, we didn't have the right, representation. Now we do.
Right. Once he said, make America great again, they're like, we know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're like, oh, our call time's ready? Okay, we're here. All right, it's time. We've been waiting
stand back and stand by.
Yeah, there is like, obviously, like there's a lot of racism in America and like since its founding, but I do think radicalizing is the thing that happens, whether it be like right-wing extremists or talking about what's happening, unfortunately, in the Middle East with a lot of people who become radicalized. So I do think there are people who do become that way. But yes, I 100% agree with you. A lot of that was already there and just waiting to explode.
Right, it's just.
I said before, my volume was horrible. Zainab, your joke on Instagram was hysterical.
Thank you very much.
What's the joke?
Why are we so serious? Are we comics?
Oh, because it's a tense time. It's a tense time, Jackie. Well, Jackie, give us some material. Go ahead.
No, I'm not paid to.
Yeah.
Give us some material.
Go ahead, go for it.
No, I would just say everything I say. Y'all look at me like,
hey, Jackie.
Yes.
You can never say that I have not done amazing things for you. What was the text that I sent you at a certain hour, and then you said, "Thank you, Jesus."
And I keep forgetting to go on Amazon and order it, but I'm very excited. It's in my shopping cart. I'm gonna buy it.
Awesome.
Jackie.
What part?
Jackie.
What?
What was the text I sent you?
She was recommending adult sex toys, Keith.
I
know. She sent me a solar-powered recommendation for a sex toy.
Now, did you guys see this week, speaking of all the racism and hatred, that Donald Trump and senior Republican leaders have continued to defend supporters of the president who participated in a caravan that surrounded and harassed Joe Biden's campaign bus on the Texas highway on Friday. Neither Biden nor Kamala were on board that bus at the time. However, the incident was clearly an act of intimidation and harassment from armed Trump supporters. And the FBI is investigating this incident after safety. I don't understand why the investigation takes so long. Didn't they have license plates?
Well, you got to think about the racist structure of our law enforcement system. I mean, it's all there. It's like,
that was some 50s and 60s type stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Mississippi burning. It's just like it's sad. That's why, Jackie, we're looking all miserable.
Yeah.
Why? Because the country's horrible?
Yes, so much stuff that's being.
I agree.
And Marco Rubio yesterday. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. I agree. I just choose to go out. I choose to ride this life out unrealistically optimistic. It works for me. You guys feel. Go ahead.
No, I was saying Marco Rubio was at a rally in Florida yesterday talking about that. And even just the way that news story described it, Marina, that you read, they're still like playing it down. They're making it sound less dangerous and violent than it was.
Right.
They're tailgating this car in the front and the back and the side. They're trying to run them out of the state. There were campaign staff on there that were supposed to be making campaign stops, and they canceled it because they were in too much danger. And one of the pickup trucks sideswiped one of the campaign staffers' car that was right behind the bus. So it was very dangerous. It wasn't just, the way they describe it there, it's almost like, a right-wing station wrote it. It's almost like a cop who's trying to cover up, a police department who's trying to cover up their crimes, write something where they just make it sound like nothing bad happened. It was a lot worse than that newspaper article described it. And then Marco Rubio was at a rally in Florida yesterday talking about it and cheering it on and saying, in Florida, he goes, that was in Texas, that happened. In Florida, we do it even better. So, I mean, it's terrifying stuff, when the people in power are gangsters.
It's terrifying and it's insulting because it's like, Kamala and Biden ain't on. That it's just that it's people that can afford to not, if they need to, if that caravan or if that bus didn't make it wherever it was supposed to go, it would be okay. Meaning they're like bullies. You get what I'm saying? But what do bullies do? They bully who they know they can bully. A bully ain't never going after the person they know gonna beat their ass. Like, y'all really about it? Go after Biden's bus.
Good point.
Yeah,
I think my neighbors are having sex right now. I just wanted to point that out.
All right. Good for them.
Someone's having a good time. I just heard. I was like, okay, well, I guess someone's fine either way.
Marina, I got to jump out. Thanks so much for having me on the show, though.
No, thank you,
everybody.
Thank you, Judah. Judah, are you okay though? You gonna be all right?
Yes, we're gonna get through it no matter what happens. Just keep fighting. No matter who wins, keep fighting.
You want to let the people who are watching? There's a few that will see this, like where they can find you and what you're doing, because I know you're doing a couple of shows.
Yeah, well, I'm on social media. It's Judah World Champ, JUDAH World Champ, and I do a few shows a week on Zoom. It's pay what you want. And I do a few a week. It's usually about a 90-minute, 2-hour show. It's usually me and one or two other comics. So check them out. Check out my Twitter, Instagram for any of that info.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Stay safe, everybody. Thank you.
You too.
Yep. Bye. All right. So that was just you, Subha. Look at that. The camera loves you. Just went right to you. Well, Keith, we were talking about something on the Comedy Cellar podcast that was interesting about the vaccine and whether or not you feel comfortable taking it, and how can they convince Black individuals, the Black community, to take this vaccine?
Well, that's the whole thing. Trying to convince us makes me more leery. And I was like in the very beginning when they always like more black people get it than anybody. More black. I'm like, what are they setting this up for? With COVID, they're setting us up to go, you guys got to go first. Like more black than it was Latin, black and Latin. Like you guys got to go first. Like, cause they all more black get it, more Latin people get it. So that's the guinea pigs right there. That's what it sounded like to me when they first started announcing all the black people getting, and attorney general, he was like, yeah, black guys, y'all gotta, your grandmother, your grandfather, all that. We got to take this thing. We get it most of all. We the most with it, and then all of a sudden it's like, why won't black people going to take it? I'm like, hell no, y'all go first.
I'm not taking.
You're not taking it.
No, I'm not taking it. I've never taken a flu vaccine either. The only vaccines that I got were as a kid to, what was mandatory to go to school. And I think if I were a parent right now, I would investigate whatever state I live in, what the loopholes are. Like if it's religious based, that you cannot, that you don't have to vaccinate your kids, because it's not about, like, I think that the idea of vaccination is great, but I just don't trust I know that our Food and Drug Administration, I know that the government body that regulates vaccinations is sort of controlled by, a body that I don't trust. So no, I'm not trying to take it. Not to mention, I know that the flu, right, happened in like the early 1900s, right? The flu was like in 1920 or something, 1918. Does anybody know?
I don't really know when the flu started.
It was
1918.
Yeah, 1918. You know when the FDA approved the flu vaccination?
When?
It was like in the 2000s.
It took a while.
Yeah, so that's I'm just saying that's like 80 years, and they trying to tell us something in less than a year. Like.
Well,
so
Nina just wrote us, I definitely got my tinfoil hat on with this vaccine. I'll let a few rounds go before I think about it. So, yeah, this is the thing, though. I had this conversation. Zainab, you probably heard it because you were listening to that episode with my surgeon about breast cancer research and how they don't have enough studies on Black women.
Yeah.
And that she really felt like she wants to convince Black women to do these trials. Black women won't do these trials, but they can't get the information if we don't do the trials. So it's like a catch. Like, how do we fix that?
Is there an African American bunny rabbit they can try? Use it on or something?
Bunny rabbit? Why you gonna throw a bunny rabbit?
I do think it's true. But I don't think that it's our fault. I think that the medical field needs to do more to make us trusting, because you gotta, like, yeah, they can say Black women, but I mean, we always gonna think of Tuskegee, right? But also we have to recognize, and I got kind of tore apart for saying this, but on a podcast, but I'll say it again. If we could say that this country was built off of racism, and we can say that a lot of the systems in place are systemically against us, then why is the medical field exempt?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're 100% correct.
Exactly. So why would we, if I don't trust and this is where they really tore me apart. Almost every oncologist, and Marina, you can probably speak to this, legally, they have to tell a cancer patient they have to prescribe chemo legally. That's what a doctor has to do to be a licensed physician treating cancer in America. But then if you ask a lot of those same doctors if they had cancer, would they do chemo? A lot of them would say no. So of course I'm not ready to sign up to do anything, because I don't trust the infrastructure. That is,
well,
I don't trust the system in place.
But her point was Dr. Catherine Joseph was there's been a lot of studies have shown the success rate is high with clinical trials in breast cancer, specifically when Black women are. So that's why she's stressing that. I mean, I have a hard time with it, but it makes sense.
Well, when I was in a hospital and they were giving blood pressure medicine, that one doctor said, "Hey, why don't you try this right here? This is very good." And then we broke down all the stuff that was wrong with it. He said, "Oh yeah, boy, you're smart. You did your reading, huh?" Like we caught him, and he said, "You."
So I get.
He was almost like, "You got me." Like he was trying to sell
because
the drug that was bad for me. And after we said what was wrong with that drug, you're like, "Boy, y'all sure do read. All right, stay on our one then." It was bullshit.
So Marina, I really loved that podcast because it was very informative. But I think and of course a doctor who went to school here and is happy to be a doctor will not recognize this. But they're learning from the textbooks that are approved by you get what I'm saying? Like everything starts from if we're complaining about the inception of white supremacists, right? If we're complaining about that, so everything that is a result of that is way, shape, or form problematic.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. I agree with you in terms of like it doesn't fall on like Black people or Black women to just be like, oh, okay, let's trust this infrastructure now. I do think the FDA and the government needs to do way more in terms of transparency, in terms of regulation to build back that trust with the community. They are the ones that need to be doing the work. And it's not being done. But what you are saying in terms of like, it's an unfortunate consequence because you do need women, you need Black women, you need people of color to be participating in these trials to be able to account for these different effects and have the most effective treatment for those communities. But again, like I don't know that you can just sit there and shame them and be like, why aren't you participating? Of course they're not. Like, what have you done to assure them? What steps have you taken to show that it is regulated, that it is safe, that you are being transparent? And I don't say it is regulated, that it is safe, that you are being transparent. And I don't say
Sorry. I think that's a speaker issue.
My bad. Hey, Marina, I didn't see your text.
That's okay. I
didn't know you wanted me to come back.
Yeah.
I guess like in Subha, I totally agree with what you're saying. I guess what I'm saying is there seems to be some, like, you know, a lot of what we live through from, you know, religion to state is programming, right? Like it just is what it is. So like for me, you know, like in the news, it came out, a lot of medical professionals were like, yeah, well, in our textbooks, it actually says that Black people have a higher pain tolerance, right? Like for me, if I read something that just seems like logically like, well, where did this come from? I'm at least going to question that. But the fact that there's so many people now, there's so many medical professionals, it's like, yeah, that's just what they taught us. That's just what they taught us. And so we just believed it because that's what they taught us. Like there's not some special Black book and it's all the same book. And then to go into what Keith is saying, it is also a business. The same way the FDA don't just send stuff to a hospital. There's a salesperson with a drug that goes to a doctor and says, can you sell this? This is what's going to happen if y'all sell this. And that's why that doctor tried to get Keith on those drugs.
Now, I just want to go to some of our comments here. Great. Nina agrees with you, Zainab, and she says, I've listened to that episode and it was great, but I felt she was somewhat saying what she had to say as a medical professional. And Brianna Simpson says, invest in Black doctors.
That's what I was going to say is like, here's the thing, like science historically gets a lot of shit wrong, but because it is science, because you do like trials and you're supposed to be finding the truth, the facts of a thing, like you need Black doctors, you need Black scientists to come in here and like challenge these internal biases. And then like once you actually hold them up to the light using a scientific process, you can easily debunk them and be like, oh, this is racist. And there is a lot of work to be done, but I think like just in general, moving away from like medicine and science can be really dangerous, you know, just in terms of like, you know, because if you go all the way to the extreme for anti-vaxxers talking about, oh, vaccines are, yes, they do have their problems, but like my uncle who passed away had polio. Like I saw what that did to him and what the vaccines can do for our community in terms of eradicating that awful disease. So I think there is a lot of problems with it, but I'm also like, just in general, it makes me nervous because people are anti-vaxxers completely now, and because people do turn away from traditional medicine, even when it's something that can save them. Yeah, it just makes me, I don't know.
The same, and so I know that you're specifying medicine, Subha, and I'm actually talking about the medical industry.
Yeah.
So like the same political like correspondent that I'm not thinking of her name that I talked about earlier. She also gave an example of like earlier this year, she went in for a broken ankle. She hadn't even gotten the ankle fixed, treated, and her bill was $26,000.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree with you. This medical industry is completely broken. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so I'm just saying it can't be broken just in accounting. It's
Yeah.
also you know what I'm saying? If it's
Yeah,
broken in one
100%.
place, it's broken everywhere. And so I'm not saying that the solution is just like we all, just like when people say, well, I mean, I don't, you know, I don't care about this, the government. It's like, yeah, you do. Unless you're living on the outskirts in a forest somewhere, you are participating in this process. You just have to choose how much you're going to, what type of participant you are going to be, you know? But just by not voting doesn't make you a non-participant. I'm just saying these are the things that we have to think of, even when it comes to clinical trials. If they're if somebody's just really like curiously asking, like, and we just don't get a lot of women of color trying to, well before you say that, let's go back to the real conversation, because there's a conversation that has to be thoroughly had before that conversation. And if that conversation is supposed to be had, is had thoroughly, you won't even ask the question, why are we not getting women of color? You'll say, what do we need to do to get the women of color to do these trials so that we can provide better services for them?
100%.
Women of color, men of color, anybody of color, stop lying. Stop putting finance ahead of health. And you know, that's what you can do. You know, when once again I'm in the hospital, they offer me depression, antidepressant drugs. I'm sorry, I'm not depressed. Oh, you need to take these drugs. I'm not depressed. What do you want me to do? Well, you're going to be depressed. Like they're telling something. They're just telling it. Like, no, you got to take these drugs. What do you? No. If I take the drugs, I'm admitting that I got to do something. Now I'm depressed. Now I take these drugs. Now I am depressed. So
forget everything I said. I think that doctor was right.
Well, let's talk about Black men and the vote. This turnaround, since we're on the subject of putting finances before. I mean, I do feel like
finances first.
They seem to be in the 400,000 bracket. These rappers who want to support Trump.
Well,
I heard Trump. He's the one who reaches out to them to try and solicit their celebrity to help his campaign. So it's all a scam.
And it's not really overall, like Black men overall don't really vote for Trump. I mean,
what he needed was a certain percentage of Black men. He was going for like 20% of it. And, you know, getting the rappers to speak and open their dumb mouths, you know, that helped. Let's be honest, it did help.
Will we take them back into the community like Ice Cube, do you think?
No, but I think it's just like anything. Like we were saying, you need more Black doctors. We need more Black whatever, millionaires. But those millionaires became what they hate the most. All white guys. You know, when you got money, it's different. I'm assuming. It's like you all of a sudden you got those millions that you always wanted. Now you find yourself protecting those millions. So you become like what you hate.
the patriarchy, basically. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Everyone wants to be the white guy, huh?
Yeah, that was definitely black men want to be the white man. Certain types of black men. But I don't think that it's about removing them from the community or and taking them back in. Like, I never felt, while Ice Cube was the most surprising one for me, and I just want to be very clear, Ice Cube didn't endorse. I was surprised that Ice Cube allowed himself to be played in the way that he allowed himself to be played.
He didn't
And
endorse
I think that the narrative is changing. They putting a lot of stuff out there that's not true. But what was disappointing, or what is disappointing, is that I personally expected Ice Cube to not. This is not a new game that Trump plays. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not new at all. This is not a new game that any of the candidates play, actually. But I definitely think that we have to move away from, like, oh, so now we are completely disengaging with you. And the reason why I say that is because we can't say we can't listen to rappers, right? Because there's some rappers that are saying exactly what we want to hear. And so it's very easy to agree with them. We only say don't listen to rappers, or don't listen to fill in the blank, or, you know what I'm saying, don't listen to athletes, or don't listen to comedians, whoever, when they're saying something that you disagree with.
No, I don't think so. I disagree with that. I think, first of all, Ice Cube did endorse him. And how he endorsed him, he may not know how he endorsed him, but he endorsed him. He did just enough to give people doubt. And he had to know. Ice Cube's got to be smarter than that to understand that he was being used. But he didn't care. Even when they told him he was being used, he didn't give a damn. So once you're in that whole spectrum, you know what's going on. You see all the stuff that Trump is doing. Don't act like you don't know. Why would you meet with his
press secretary?
Well, his folks. Why would you meet with him? Unless you wanted to be associated with him just a little bit. And hearing him talk, he knew exactly what he was doing. And Trump knew what he was doing. So he got a little bit of Ice Cube talking, sowing a little doubt, making a false equivalency of both sides. It's just, I'm done with it. I'm done with him. Like, black men shut up, like, because black women, they had this. It's 750 of them want to Biden told him what he was going to do, how he was going to do it, and then dumb Ice Cube comes in at the last minute, uninformed, yapping. For what?
Well, Maxine Waters.
Stupid mouth, for what?
Maxine Waters has a stern message for black voters who are contemplating voting for Trump. Any of them showing their face, I will never, ever forgive them for undermining the possibility to help their own people and their own communities. It is absolutely unconscionable.
I agree.
There was earlier tonight when I was watching the results, they did mention, like, who were the voters that were turning out, and they mentioned black men. And I forget what states they were in, and I was like, what niggas are voting in those like this? And what Keisha said reminded me, like, it doesn't take much to put doubt in any human being's mind. Mm-hmm. Especially this close to when you're like, this is the last, we don't need nobody to make any kind of stand.
Right.
That's against people, our people, anybody of color and women. Now, no one should pop out now. And someone as big as Ice Cube in the exact age demographic, and they said earlier tonight, we're coming out a lot in droves and voting a lot. I'm like, you can't, no one can put their finger on it being Cube, but you can't not put something on it, Mm-hmm. Any kind of attention is a distraction that is unnecessary and can possibly have irreparable harm on this whole thing.
And my whole thing is when it comes to like listening to athletes or celebrities or whatever, like I think it's good for people to use their platform to talk about these issues, but that should be an entry point for folks. I think like just America in general, we're so obsessed with celebrity that it carries too much weight. It's ridiculous. Like it's like, oh, okay, this celebrity is talking about this issue. This is something I should learn about. You need to go out. You need to do that work. You need to find the people who have made it their life's mission, the experts, the people who are actually on the ground who know these facts. Like you need to look them up. If it's something somebody's talking about that you admire and you're like, okay, this is an issue that's been brought to my attention by this person with this platform. I need to go and look at an expert and see what they have to say. Like you can't count on me. Like you shouldn't. Like, you know, like my life goal is to tell dick jokes in a mall. Don't listen to me. Like if I spark your curiosity, go look up somebody whose work it is to talk about the issue I brought to your attention. You know, like
However, Subha, you are pretty good, and I do want to ask you, where is it the South Asian, right? Where's the South Asian vote? Do you think? Oh.
I haven't actually looked up how my community is voting. It's because from what I can tell, there's Republicans who are South Asians. You've got like Nikki Haley, and then you have people like in LA like Nithya Raman, and so we're all over the map because I feel like our culture is also very capitalist and like power driven, so it's easy to go that way. But there's also a lot of people who see the just who are the humanity, the inhumanity of what's happening and couldn't possibly side with that. And also like a lot of my generation folks who are, more liberal and socialist. It's all over the map, so I have no idea how it breaks down.
I want to say this before I forget. Let me say this one thing. I just don't understand why the misinformation gets out there. So we hear it straight from Trump's. He says everything. He puts it right there.
He's the president. But I want to get to the point. I want to get to this, the black male vote, the rappers yapping and all that kind of stuff. To me, it really affected me in a way that when I see Trump talking about Ilhan Omar, and these black women are in danger, and Ice Cube, like Alicia Garza told him, look, my life is in danger. And he just brushed over that, really. Like, that's enough to go, wait a minute. These black women are in trouble because of Donald Trump. Why am I even messing with him?
Well, I think here's where we made the mistake. Way back when who was it? Bill Maher had said the N-word or something like that. Ice Cube acted on behalf of black people and went and talked to him, and everybody was like, yeah, Cube, call him out, right? Y'all remember that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so now I think that is what empowered Ice Cube to feel like he was the voice of the people.
No,
and he might have an album coming out too. Don't forget how shallow.
No, he don't got no album coming out. Come on.
No movie, nothing.
No, his son does.
A movie, but not an album.
I think it is. It's something that he's gaining from this, because he came sliding in with at the time was 12 million people had voted already, and he comes sliding in. Don't just give your vote away. What?
Yeah. That's why, you know what? You shouldn't assume, if anybody doesn't assume, you shouldn't assume that because his brand is hardcore man of the people, yay. Like, he's also celebrity hungry like anybody else on that level. And they might be home too much and they might be bored. And they're like, if I just send one tweet or make one comment on camera somewhere, I'll get a little jolt in my career.
I guess what I was saying is, like, when Lil Wayne came out and said what he said, even 50 Cent, even like Kanye, it's like I've experienced that behavior from them before, so I just wasn't surprised. That goes right in line with, like what we know is that Lil Wayne didn't read the Platinum Plan, right? Like, we know that, right? Don't matter if that was the first sentence in his tweet.
It was one page.
Even one page, I know Lil Wayne didn't read the Platinum Plan. I know that he did not read it. So for me, it was just like, I was just surprised. I'm not at all siding or even empathizing with Cube. I'm just saying that of the black male rappers that have been blasphemous in this time, I was just surprised by him.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought
Venice
that
is saying
knew
our
better.
celebrities. I'm sorry, Venice. I just want to go to some of our comments here. Venice says prestige, power, and access along with money is seductive, as well as she just recently posted our celebrities aren't generally educated people, actors, musicians versus scientists and scholars. Nina Du says I'm not surprised at all that Ice Cube. It's not the first time he's expressed his fucked up ideas. They tried to block her comment because she said fucked up, but I got it in there.
Got it.
See, I don't agree with Venus Boys 3. Our celebrities aren't generally educated people. I mean, I'm sitting here talking to celebrities in their own right who I believe have a certain level of education that allows me. Why would I listen to Keith right now? I'm not going to throw some that we say that when we want to throw people away, but if
Nina said sorry.
that we agree with,
or Nina said sorry.
If they're saying things that we agree with, then we're not worried about their education level.
Well,
I think that is the same as what's her name telling LeBron shut up and dribble. Like, we cannot say our celebrities, some of them are dumb, but we can't just say celebrities are not generally educated.
I think well, I'm going to say this myself. I think it's more educated on the issues at hand. Ice Cube don't know what's going on.
That's fine.
Ice Cube didn't know that the CBC had this contract with Black America, this dumb contract with Black America already. They set her on Trump's desk the first year in. So he wasn't educated, or maybe he was, or maybe his whole thing was to stop that vote a little bit. Maybe he had something else going on for himself. But he definitely wasn't educated towards what was actually happening already.
Yeah, they're actually.
No.
I just want to say I have to go.
All right, Jackie. Well, Jackie, you want to tell everyone who's watching this, because it'll be online for a while, where you'll be and where they can find you?
Please go to JackieFabulous.com to watch, subscribe, and recommend my podcast, Relatable with Jackie Fabulous. I just uploaded the episode Married Dudes Part 3, YouTube and all the platforms to listen to a podcast. And I'll just leave it at that. And I wanted to say to Keith, I need medication because your hat makes me depressed. Just so you know.
Oh, is that? Oh, give us some friends like us.
That's all I wanted to say.
That message.
Jackie, can you give us some friends like us? Do you mind?
Oh, I never get this right. This is the hardest part of your podcast. With friends like us, I will always have a safe place to be angry and complain, but still work towards the greater good.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Jackie.
Nina Du says she subscribed to you too, so thank you.
Yay, love you guys. Hope to see you all soon. Bye.
Okay, bye, Jackie.
Bye, Jackie.
Bye. How do you turn this off?
Bye, Jackie.
I'll kick you. You want me to kick you out? I'll kick you out.
That's all.
Bye. Okay.
But I just wanted to continue what we were saying, because I agree with Zainab. Just because you're like a celebrity doesn't mean you're unintelligent or uneducated. I just think it's really important to trust experts, like people who make it their life's work to do X, Y, and Z. Like listening to a celebrity, listening to a politician, it's the same exact. It's just people who have a certain platform, people who have power. The politicians are supposed to be listening to experts. Like as a celebrity, you don't necessarily it's not my job to look up X, Y, and Z expert. Now I might do that, but that doesn't mean that I have. I just think it's important to trust people with expertise. Yeah. But I think blanketly being oh, you're a celebrity, stay out of it. Don't say this, don't say that isn't gonna happen, number one, and it's dismissive.
Now Venus is defending herself. She says, not saying they don't have the right to speak their mind, but no one is talking about, Neil Tyson on that same level. Or I think that's different.
Yeah, maybe Neil deGrasse Tyson. But I agree. I agree with her. It's like we give too much value to celebrity. It's like you need to listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson and scientists and experts and all that. I do agree with that. That they should have.
But that sucks. Neil deGrasse Tyson ain't on my Explorer page.
Mm-hmm.
But Ice Cube was on my Explorer page. So that goes back to, and I'm not, I'm not calling out Venus Boys 3 or anybody else, but it's like also, it's just like Subha said, it's our responsibility. Like we complaining about a problem where we are actually the solution to it. The things that are being shared are not the informational posts. The things that are being shared are the posts that trigger.
But I think the main problem is a lot of these people who have followers mistake followers for them being leaders from on Instagram and Twitter and all that. Now they got that ego. They're feeding that ego that look at all this power I got. I can say something. So it's also on the celebrity himself to yap too much and not ask the proper questions of the people who really do this. Ice Cube was arrogant. Just like Jay-Z was arrogant.
Yeah. I agree.
That's of their own arrogance. So if I know somebody knows something, I'm gonna go to the people who know the stuff they know, and I'm gonna say, look, this is what I believe. Tell me, am I wrong? So go to the CBC. The Congressional Black Caucus had an in-depth thing for the contract for Black America. But Ice Cube thinks he's doing something new. Yeah, well, I wrote my thing, and I had to show. Shut up, Ice Cube.
Can I just say, this is what this is my little brilliant thought in the shower today, is that, sometimes when we talk to our girlfriends about being in an abusive relationship, when we go, it's not that person, it's you. You need to ask yourself, why are you in love with a man who doesn't love you back? And I feel like for all of us in America right now, we need to ask ourselves, why do we stay with a country that doesn't love us back? Why would you vote like Latinos? Why would you vote for a man who is putting children in cages? When you look at that, when you understand what that is, what is that? It says something about you. And I just think it's a self-reflective time. It's made me realize where we are as Americans, very delusional, selfish, greed, and abused on a certain level. And it's just, it's depressing, but well, I kind of want to wrap, but go ahead. Sorry.
I'm trying to get that connected to what we were involved with. So you curved it to why we're in love with what?
Well, we were talking about Ice Cube. We're talking about black rappers. We're talking about why they would position themselves in here. That's an abusive relationship. Yeah. That's an abusive relationship that they have. You wonder why women go to abusive men, right? It's an abusive relationship. There's something attractive about that abusive. We got to look at the individual.
So you're saying no? Cube is different because Trump's bullshit is not going to affect Ice Cube like
you don't think? I think so.
Like it affects everyday individuals because. Cube
on a psychological level. I'm talking not just monetary.
No, but he don't give a damn because he feel like he's out of that matrix. So Cube is not going to be affected by, and a lot of millionaires, he's like worth 200 million at least. So he's not affected like somebody else is going to be affected. Like every regular working everyday people are going to be affected. So he's out of that thing. So that's why you don't see a lot of people with millions
until he gets pulled over by the police. Then he's not. No one's looking at him as Ice Cube when he gets pulled over by the police.
When has he been pulled over by the police?
I'm just saying.
That was his old song. He's got a different vibe now because he's working with the people now. Now he's a part of their system.
Yeah, that's like a huge part in like history and psychology, just with you being like, oh, I'm me, I'm not them. It's like the more oppressed you are, the more you're trying to separate yourself from somebody underneath you. Like that's why like poor white people were some of the most racist historically, because they were taking that breadcrumb that they were getting from like the rich white plantation owners to be like, oh, I can be like you, I have this, I'm not them. And it's like that same mentality you see with a lot of immigrants. When they come here, they want to be separated. They don't want to be treated that way. So they think the way to do that is to differentiate themselves. Well, I'm not like them. I didn't come here illegally. Like, and they're not processing the fact that these people didn't have a choice. They're seeking asylum because they're about to get murdered. They're like, no, what they did was wrong. I'm not like them. I can be a part of something else. So it's a psychological thing where it's like they're getting shit upon, and then the only way they see out is to step on somebody else, which isn't correct. It doesn't work. It's not going to help you. And it causes a lot of pain, but it's a thing that's happened again and again and again.
Keith, Nina Dew said you look younger without the mustache.
Who?
Nina, she says you look younger without your mustache. We got to get out in like 5 minutes. Yeah.
All right, 5 minutes, but whatever. Let me get this in. Let me get this question in. I had a feeling that like a lot of the black men was yapping more so because like with Kamala being a vice president, all of the women saying like, yo, we got this, that black men felt as though they had to have a say in it. That they just can't, because it to me, it came out of nowhere. Like, why all these black dudes yapping now? Didn't the black women say they got it? Because everybody was talking about how important the black woman's vote was.
Are you saying black men got jealous?
I swear it almost seems like that. Like they had to yap instead of, standing back and standing by. Like, yo, let me sit back, let me set this one out, and let's back these black women all the way. Why couldn't we just do that? Why couldn't we just say, let me chill? The black women say they have it, let me get behind that. Why they feel as though they had to have a say? That's what I thought. Like, I was suspicious of, the motives.
Aren't black men always talking, though?
No, I'm saying, no.
I mean, look at us right now.
What? Wait a minute.
Why don't you shut up? Why don't you shut your trap? Let me take you out of the mainstream. I mean, you just proved your own point.
It was too easy.
That was easy. That was. Marina's a hack. Marina is a dirty hack.
Hey, guys, if you haven't yet gotten your T-shirt right behind me. We do have to.
About the black struggle. She just want to sell product. Hey, guys, you want to know where to get this hat from?
No.
Every time I look at that screen with the numbers, it's not helping me. I'm so glad I did this. I don't know about you guys, but looking at the TV screen and seeing
I don't even hear it. Let's keep
it's
on.
my moment as a black woman. You need to not interrupt me.
No,
you said I should need to. As a group, as a black man, which you are a part of.
You look like a black congresswoman.
You need to be muted.
Give me the laugh that I need.
Wear my Monsters T-shirt. Anyway, I think this was a great conversation. We're going to do it again. We're going to do this live stream again because thank you. Magaju came in kind of late. He said, I feel we are expecting the likes of Ice Cube to make a moral decision. His reason is more economical, which is what Keith was saying, right? Nina Drew said black women issues were not included in his plan. Yep. And Brianna Simpson says black women been had it though. Black women been had it though.
But that's what I was saying.
For the black woman.
But that's what I was saying at the beginning. Like, I wouldn't let my selfishness outweigh what I know the people need. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just think that that's very important. And I mean, clearly, you know, Ice Cube, Little fill in the blank, they don't have that. But
Yeah.
you know, sometimes you got to keep it pushing without them.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you all for being here today. Thank you, Zainab. Thank you, Subha. Thank you, Keith Blackman Robinson. I want to thank Venus Boy, Nina, Brianna. I will do this again, and Amagaju.
What
I want to
about?
thank.
Wait a minute. Don't I have to? Don't we say something?
I'm getting to that. This is how I get out. I start with the thank you. If you could just be patient with this moment. I'm
Marina,
trying.
Nina said, "Can Zainab insult Keith one more time?"
I'm gonna let you do it. Please do it, Zainab.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Your hat looks like there's a cane that should go with it.
No, I'm glad.
I'm gonna say that Keith, your clock is right on time, but you ain't, brother.
That
was sucky.
Shut up.
But I sent Zainab, since you're in the main. Hey, Jay. Oh, Jay. He just joined in the stream. Jay, this platform absolutely stinks, man. I did it all night. I could only have 6 people at a time. It wouldn't let me do a share screen. My Facebook, I don't. People are talking on Facebook. I can't see it. Boo! I'm booing this platform for now. You guys better fix it, Melon. Jay, wait, what? You can't do the share screen. I did the share screen, and it created a monster.
Wait, we had to live everything. That's after the podcast conversation.
I don't. You know what, Keith? I haven't talked much. You got an issue with me talking. I'm noticing that the moment I speak, it seems like you rev up with anger.
Yeah.
All right, Keith.
Keith, I think you need facial hair.
No, I don't.
I think you need facial hair. I think you look like a perp right now.
Well, Keith, since you're in the main screen, tell our listeners where they can find you and give us a Friends Like Us.
Well, where you can find me at is on all sort of things, because I do what I do. I do's what I do's, you know what I mean? You can find me on Instagram, Twitter. If anybody's in Philly, you know what I mean? I'm doing Helium Comedy Club in Philadelphia. Yeah. November 15th, 7 o'clock show in Philadelphia. Be there, because I'm going to be there with my hat and my haircut and my fresh face. Wow.
And with Friends Like Us?
And with Friends Like Us, you know what I mean? With Friends Like Us. Like, with Friends Like Us, Subha, Marina, Zainab Delicious. That's
Oh, no.
Zainab's covering up. Zainab's like, oh, gross.
Let me stop my video.
Zainab,
let me know when Keith is gone.
We're Friends Like Us.
Oh, Lord, please.
Oh, wait. Wow.
Okay, so come on next.
No, not next. I'm gonna say what I said.
Go, Subha.
Friends Like Us. Who needs Subha to talk?
All right, Subha, tell our everyone who's watching where they can find you, and give us a Friends Like Us.
I'm on Twitter and on Instagram at Subha, or at Subha A on Instagram. And with Friends Like Us, you can see Keith dressing like a detective who's solving the mystery of what happened to his sobriety.
I love it. Yes.
Yay!
Yeah. Zainab.
On all social media platforms, it's Zainab Johnson, Zainab Johnson. I have a podcast called Honest Tea with Z. Also, I have a live show on YouTube and Facebook on Wednesdays called Just Friends. It's a relationship podcast with a friend of mine. It's fun. With Friends Like Us, you can with Friends Like Us, even when a man like Keith Robinson makes you uncomfortable, you know that your girls.
We got your back. Look what the shirt says. We got you. We'll protect you from the monster.
With Friends Like Us, it don't matter how much you insult Keith, he's still gonna wear the hat.
Well, all right. And Marina Franklin here. I want to just thank you all again for watching this and for watching this afterwards. And hopefully, by Friday we'll know something. I don't know if we won't know tonight. I know that. I don't know if I want to look at the TV, but I want to thank you. Don't forget, you could get our T-shirts with the new logo and our face masks with the new logo. The T-shirt's right behind me, and we're going to have sweatshirts soon. And you can follow all things marinafranklin.com. And with Friends Like Us, you can try live for the first time and feel more alive during the toughest night in America.
Yeah.
Let's all say, check us out. Everyone, 1, 2, 3.
Check us out.
Check us out.
Check out Keith's head. Bye, Marina.
Thank you, Jay, for
Bye,
showing me
Marina.
this. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. I'm going to have my own moment. I want to have my own moment with the audience.
Wait a minute, I gotta see how to get out of here.
All right. Is it just me? Yes, it is. I do want to thank you all for joining us, and we'll do this again. Please give us some feedback on how we could do more for you. All right. Take care, everyone.